Okay, today I'm going to be reading Rowley Jefferson's Awesome Friendly Spooky Stories by Jeff Kinney. I'm going to be reading a chapter called The Medicine Cabinet. Ryan was a curious boy, and he loved to explore every nook and cranny of his apartment. And even though sometimes he got into places he didn't belong, his parents never seemed to mind. Ryan's favourite room to explore was his parents' bathroom because they had so many interesting things in the drawer next to the sink. Sometimes Ryan would use his mother's hairspray to make his hair stick straight up, and sometimes he'd make a foamy beard out of his father's shaving cream. Every once in a while, Ryan would put on lotion to make his skin feel extra silky. And once he covered himself in band-aids, just because. Ryan's parents were glad their son was a curious child, and they never got mad at him for experimenting with stuff in their bathroom. But they told him he must never go in the medicine cabinet. Anyway, if there's one thing you should never tell a curious child, it's where not to go. Because that night, Ryan waited for his parents to fall asleep, and then he snuck into their bathroom. Ryan opened the door to the medicine cabinet. He was expecting to find something really interesting in there, but the only things on the shelves were a pair of tweezers, nail clippers, cotton balls, and a bottle of makeup. Ryan was disappointed, but he decided to use the nail clippers to trim his fingernails since it had been a while. Then he dabbed some of the makeup on his cheeks just for fun. He realized he had used all the makeup up and now the bottle was empty. But he didn't want to throw it in the trash because then his parents would know he disobeyed them. So he put the bottle back in the medicine cabinet and closed the door. Then he snuck past his parents' bed and went to sleep in his room. When Ryan woke up, he could smell the bacon and eggs his mum was cooking in the kitchen. He went into his parents' bathroom to brush his teeth, just like he always did. But when he looked in the mirror, something seemed different. Ryan's hair looked a few shades lighter, like it did when he was a little kid, and his freckles were back too. But the weirdest thing was that his head seemed smaller than usual. Now Ryan was kind of getting curious. He opened the medicine cabinet and took a closer look at the bottle of makeup, and when he read the label, he started to really freak out. It says, age-reversing makeup. Just then, Ryan's mum called him from the kitchen and said breakfast was ready. Ryan didn't want his parents to see him looking like he did because then they'd know he'd gone in the medicine cabinet. So he put a hoodie on and kept it on while he ate his breakfast. Ryan's mum always gave him a kiss before he went to school, but today Ryan rushed out of the door before he had a chance. On the way to school, Ryan felt a little dizzy. He checked his reflection in the window, but then he wished he didn't, because now he looked even younger than he did before. So Ryan put his hood back on and planned to wear it for the rest of the day. But Ryan's teacher, Miss Pickler, didn't allow kids to keep their hoods on in class, and she asked him to please remove it. Ryan was hoping that other kids wouldn't notice he looked a little different, but kids always pick up on those kind of things. Mrs. Pickler didn't even seem surprised though. She asked Ryan to come to the front of the room, then she handed him a small package and told him he should take it to the restroom. When Ryan opened the package, there was a bar of soap along with a note. It says, "Makeup remover formula. Get soap wet in the sink, rub hands on soap to make a sudsy lather, scrub face with soap suds, rinse face clean. Good luck. Love, Mrs. P." Ryan was glad Mrs. Pickler had experience with this kind of thing. He followed the instructions and had to repeat the steps a few times to get all the makeup off. But even though Mrs. Pickler's secret formula stopped him getting any younger, it didn't get him back to looking like his old self. On the walk home, Ryan realized he was going to have to tell his parents the truth about what he did. But when he got to his apartment, there were 2 old people in the kitchen he didn't realise. The day had already been hard enough for Ryan, so he sort of lost it. But it turns out the old people were his parents. They asked Ryan to sit down, so they explained what was happening. Ryan's mum and dad said they had had him later in life and that had been using that magic age-reversing makeup because they didn't want to look older than all the parents. Ryan asked his parents how old they were, and they said 114 and 112. And Ryan thought that was really pretty old, but he didn't want to hurt their feelings. Ryan's parents said since he used up all the makeup, they were stuck looking like this for good. But Ryan said he didn't care how old they looked because he loved them no matter what. And from then on, things were pretty great for Ryan and his family. Sometimes people looked at them a little funny, but they didn't really care because they had each other, and that's what mattered. Okay, that's the end of the medicine cabinet. I hope you liked it. Thank you.